Yo, it's Paperbag Boy here. First video coming at you with some new drama. Rev and Nyara are tearing it up on X right now. It's blowing up. I'm here to sort the paper from the fucking plastic. We've got kid transition talk, groomer accusations, and the wildest part, they drag Rev's wife into it. Grab a snack and let's unpack this mess in a new segment I'm calling Paper versus Plastic. Yeah, paper being the crisp, juicy, nice smelling, clean goodness that we need in the gaming industry, and plastic being that shit that gets wrapped around some stupid turtle's freaking neck as it's swimming through the ocean. Did Rev go too far, or is Nyara the real plastic here? All right, boys, let's step into it. Let's figure out what's going on. Revsaysdesu kicks this off. He says, yesterday I made a tweet exposing several Vtubers who have publicly shared their desire to crack eggs, a common grooming tactic targeting confused children, and Vtubers like this not only had an issue with my criticism, they even tried to claim straight people are pedos. These people are weird, folks. They will always try to put this on you in some weird way. It's almost like a woman saying, like, yeah, well, I didn't want you anyway. You're gross. You know what I mean? Reviews says, how are these people real? They've been living in an echo chamber, says Rev, and are shocked that most people find this behavior disgusting. Absolutely. It's all so tiresome. Boys, I'm going to tell you right now, I don't agree with children being able to choose their medical treatments. I think that minds in the young age are warpable. Obviously, and the media has been using a clear tactic to warp children here. I don't like it. It's disgusting, and I also don't like it entering the VTuber space. Nyara is saying, quick reminder that all detransitioners don't regret transitioning in the first place. It helped figure themselves out and was an incredibly crucial part of their self-discovery journey. Hey, Nyara, sir, buddy, pal. If they didn't regret it, then why did they transition? Exactly. Look here, huge arse. Says, why would they detransition unless they regretted it? If they were okay with it, they would just stick to their new gender. And the dude says, that's not how transitioning works. Revsaysdesu says, I have literally no words. Me either. Oh my goodness. The appalling lack of common sense here is crazy. I'm going to try to take an equal stance on this. I'm going to try to sit in the middle. But honestly, it's a little hard, folks. Nyara made a video about this, by the way. If I don't have the screenshot of it, I'm missing it. It's in here somewhere. Nyara made a video discussing the subject, saying things that absolutely make no sense about why a child, if they're given the right information, should be able to choose, or if they're explained in the correct way, should be able to choose whether or not they receive a medical transition or not, which is absolutely crazy. You can explain a child how to get a tattoo and what a tattoo does. It doesn't allow them to get a tattoo. It's still illegal. You can explain a child the dangers of smoking cigarettes, that it'll give them cancer, but it's still illegal. You know why? Because their minds are not fully developed and capable enough to understand the risks. Okay? So it's absolutely crazy. Rev responds to that with, all they said in their video was that we should educate kids about trans issues. It's not that deep. Jesus Christ, dude, stay away from kids. I'm considering blocking after this. I can deal with the daily obsession with me, but this post just revealed they might be a legitimate danger. You know what they say. If your enemy's making a mistake, be sure not to interrupt them. Absolutely, this might be the case. Nyara snaps back with, an anti-trans propaganda is funded by Russia to destabilize the West so Putin can invade countries without issues. Trump showed the world that his entire his entire party only exists to please Putin. Let me read that again for you, folks. Anti-trans propaganda funded by Russia to destabilize the West. They are making connections where there is not connections, folks. This is an absolutely plastic take here. I mean, you had to be smoking plastic to be able to come to this conclusion. I can't explain that any way that would make sense. Nyara makes another post here saying, you can't make a cis kid trans. You cannot make a trans kid cis. Being trans isn't a mental illness because the experts in the field determined that it's not a mental illness. Let's just sit on that for a minute, folks. Being trans isn't a mental illness because the experts in the field determined that it's not a mental illness. I guess this dude, this buddy, this pal, has never heard of gender dysphoria before or body dysmorphia. I mean, it's literally the definition. It is absolutely a mental illness, and to come at kids that are affected with this mental illness and try to warp them in a way to accept some surgery, which isn't even, the technology is not there yet. Nyara, if you're listening, the technology is not there yet, buddy. It's not there. It is nowhere near. It's dangerous for adults, let alone children. If the technology was there, then it would probably be more widely accepted for people above the age of 18. But even if the technology was there, it would probably still, and it would, this is my moral compass, by the way, this is my opinion. I don't think even if it was there that it should be that kids should be allowed to use this technology or to transition in any way whatsoever. Anyways, moving on here, we've got Nyara also making a post against the VTubing, anime, and lolicon community, folks. He is attacking everyone. I mean, everybody. Just going off, pointing the gun, throwing spaghetti at the walls in every direction to see what sticks. This has to be an engagement farmer, except I went through their account, and it's absolutely crazy. Just because there isn't a victim doesn't mean there is no harm in normalizing lolicon. Hope this helps. And, this person just posts, pedophile. Trans people will never leave kids alone. We want trans kids to be trans and give them the education and care we desperately needed when we were younger. Stop making it so difficult for us to be part of society. Lincoln replies. Yeah, folks, as you can see, this is obviously engagement farming. But I'll tell you something. It's fiction, folks. It's anime. It's fiction. The reason why she's attacking this is because this came out. In Texas, they are actively posting a wide-ranging law that sounds like it's just affecting, animated minors, but in reality, it's a wide scope base that affects all of anime in particular, and it leaves it up to the lawmaker of whether or not they think that the anime depicts a person of underage. And we got another one here, folks. Hating femme-tomboys for breaking gender norms and wanting trans people to fulfill the expectations forced upon men-women in this patriarchal society is actually insane. Gender is a social construct that should be broken because it's incredibly harmful. All right, folks, let me explain to you something real quick. This is going to be easy to understand. This is common sense. Just because a definition exists in language does not mean that that affects reality. Language is our best way of trying to describe what is in reality around us. And in reality, there are two sexes. There is male and there is female. And gender is the role that those two sexes play. So if you link it back, gender is not some social construct. We should just do away with the word gender altogether and change it to sex. How a sex performs in a certain society. I mean, seriously. Male and female, folks. That's what it is. You can change wording all you want. You can mess with literature all you want. It doesn't change the fact of the reality around you. All right, folks. Revsaysdesu finally snapping back says, I have asked you countless times whether or not you think kids can consent. You refuse to answer. And we're coming up on the moment when it all blows up, folks. March 9th. This blows up into a back and forth between Rev and Nyara, and Rev's wife, Eva Strawberry, even gets pulled into this, absolutely getting called a transphobe and getting drugged through the mud. Rev coming here calling my wife transphobic because she condemns you for never leaving kids alone. Even trans people disagree with you on this. Stay away from kids, you absolute creep. And Nyara says, educate yourself on the topics or leave trans people alone. I mean, how can you expect to have a genuine conversation with this dude if he's calling your wife transphobic and then saying to educate yourself on the topics? Like it's not that he's leaving trans people alone. It's the kids that he's trying to protect. This is an honorable stance by Rev. This is paper. And we're going to get through this and see what the take is. But honestly, this is seeming like paper, folks. And Nyara's seeming more like a plastic bitch. Strawberry here. Nobody is harassing you. You love the attention. And call me whatever names you want. Tell me that nobody likes me. I don't really care. Sorry, I don't believe that we should encourage minors to be altering their bodies with drugs and surgeries. That's where I draw the line. Strawberry says, nobody is harassing you. You are welcome to criticism whenever you shut up about this sensitive topic and intentionally say extreme things like, we are not leaving kids alone. You are getting the attention you seem to want. Congrats. Nyara snaps back with, and you wonder why content creators don't want to go near you. And Strawberry says, now who is the bully? I mean, absolutely. This dude is out here bullying Rev's wife, acting like he's taking a stance from some moral high road position, looking down on everybody else. I mean, it's impossible to have an argument with someone like that. And the fact that he was actually able to get underneath Rev's skin this much baffles me. But I mean, look at all this. He's at every single comment. He's going underneath Rev and he's commenting. He's leave trans people alone. Leave trans people alone while actively trying to attack kids with body dysmorphia. And I get stuff like this from your community. Welcome to the internet. Shocking, I know. But when you go on a crusade that hinges entirely on kids being able to consent, you're going to get blowback. Grow a spine and leave kids alone. This is one of the funniest ones, folks. This made me laugh out loud when I read this. Oi, Rev, how's sucking Elon's cock treating you? Anyways, time to trigger you, aunt. Trans right, human right. So let their transition. If it means saving fucking lives, you're pathetic. I'm gonna keep ripen into you down here, then you would think anyone is a groomer that teaches someone like my sister that's okay to be trans, bi, or gay. So please do me a favor and just castrate. Just castrate yourself with a rusty knife. Your DNA will ruin the gene pool. And the yard just says, dude, I have a fraction of your following. I don't condone this shit. And I'm not lying about you for Twitter clout. My ass, bro. I got like 20,000 fucking screenshots of your replies underneath everything that he said for a month. This VTuber has repeatedly shared their desire to groom children. They even think children can consent to life-altering decisions. So where's the backlash from VTubers? Sadly, these activists are so afraid of not being politically correct, they will support groomers like this. Honestly, folks, this is just sad. I mean, seeing this in the VTubing community, people don't have a fucking spine. I mean, you can see they all react to the same videos, they all do the same things, and they have no spine. They're signed to places like Hoyoverse, and they're probably afraid that if they actually, spoke up about this issue, which is like a fucking 99 to 1% issue, that kids should definitely be left alone and should definitely go through counseling and should wait till they're at least 18 before they even take any kind of hormones, puberty blockers, or even begin a transitioning process. I mean, this issue is pretty evident, at least in America, about what side is supported and what is not, what's plastic, what's fucking paper, you know what I'm saying? And Nyara just says, so when are you going to watch the video instead of harassing me over thumbnails? Brother, everybody fucking watched it. Your points are garbage. You can explain it, you can try to dance around it all you want, but the reality of the issue is that children can't consent. You might be able to name 5 or 6 countries in the entire world where children can actually consent to medical procedures. But guess what? It's not in America. It's not in the UK. So I don't know what to tell you. Folks, and this is where it ends off. Nyara with the most insane take of the day. The most ridiculous, out of this world plastic bullshit take. I mean, this dude must have a plastic bag over his head trying to see the reality through the freaking blurry film or something. Transphobia hurts all women. It also hurts especially women of color because it's not just misogyny, it's also rooted in racism. let me read that again for you, folks. Transphobia hurts all women. It also hurts especially women of color because it's not just misogyny, it's also rooted in racism. Please explain, why does transphobia hurt all women? And why does this especially hurt women of color? And how the absolute plastic bag is it rooted in racism, dude? Folks, we're gonna end it off here. Let's just wrap this up real quick. Nyara versus Rev. Rev's wife getting drug into it. Some absolute crazy nonsense happened. I mean, this just blew up way beyond proportion of what it should have been, and this dude is getting more hype than he should have ever gotten. But we're gonna look at these takes objectively. Let's see who explained more common sense here. Was Nyara, more rooted in reality and giving out more common sense, responses, or was Rev? Let me know down below, folks. I'll give you my take. Paper or plastic? Rev. Paper, baby. Paper. Rev's that crisp, sweet smelling paper. Whenever you're at the grocery store and they say paper or plastic, you say put it in that paper, boy. Yeah. Rev's that juicy paper. You get to crumple it up. It sounds real nice. He's that clean, crisp paper, baby. He's that paper bag. Nyara, fucking plastic. Nyara's that little plastic bitch. Wearing plastic bag, seeing the world through a film. This is obviously a plastic for me, folks. Let me know down below what you think. Was this paper? Was this plastic for you? You think Nyara's rooted in common sense, or do you think they're absolutely out of their mind? Do you think Rev went too far, calling Nyara a groomer? Maybe, maybe not. Let me know down below, folks. Show some love, like and subscribe. Next, I'll be doing the Asmongold Hassan drama, and we'll even be doing a game review, folks. So stick around, ring the bell, and see the next video. All right, thanks. Peace.